Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because we're going to be live for the 2025 NFL Draft. We got it all covered for you. Subscribe so you don't miss out. In today's video, we're going to be doing my final 7-round mock draft. Finally done with the mock draft. This is the last one I'm doing for the year because the draft is right down the road. Here is the rules for this specific mock draft. No trades, but these players could be selected. Look, I think the Lions do. We know where they're going to trade, right? We just don't know when they're going to trade. Could be first, second, any of the rounds, but we know they're going to trade. So that's how I'm going to there. I use many of the names that were on the 30 visits that they've met with because that's what Brad Holmes does. He drafts around 50% of the individuals on his roster is about 50% from their 30 visits. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going all that way, but I definitely use that as a help. I did drafted best player available attached to need. When it comes to Brad Holmes, he goes BPA. That's what he does with somewhat of a need, and that's how I did this draft. I used the simulator 5 times, so I got players in the general area and with the latest information in regards to players potentially sliding. So that's how I did it. So I'm not getting all the best players with every pick, right? That's just not how the NFL draft is going to work. So those are how I did this draft. And a little bit of a gut feeling and just going with it. This is the hardest draft or hardest mock draft I've done yet. I've been on YouTube for 6 years. Last year was difficult. I still got the first round pick, couple picks. I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot. It's going to be difficult because that's just the way that these mock drafts work. But before we get into the first selection here at 28, what side of the ball do you want the Detroit Lions to draft with that 28th pick? Do you want it to be offense? Put O. If you want defense, put D. Now, with the 28th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, I'm believing the hype. The Lions select Mykel WIlliams. Now, look, this could be a situation we have to go up a couple picks, but we're hearing a lot of buzz, potentially him sliding a little bit due to his lackluster run at his pro day of 4.75. There are some scouts and individuals that believe he still potentially could be a little bit injured. And you know the Detroit Lions, they don't care about that stuff. If a player slides, they'll draft him even if it's a little bit injury. Now, his production is not what you would like to see. He's got the bigger body build. But the Lions will draft individuals that are somewhat projects. They will. Look, it's not like he is completely bad. He has had 21 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions. But it's his prototypical size that everybody likes, right? The 6'5", 265. That's generally the area they like to draft. You know, the bigger edge rushers when they're going that route. But I'm absolutely starting to believe that Williams could slide a little bit. Now, the Lions may want to jump up and get a player like that if he does slide, or they may just stand pat. But I have a feeling the Lions would like to get that pass rush. And I just heard Brad Holmes speak to the media. And, of course, he does BPA and he's not doing a certain position. But if a player like Williams slides, I think we all could see a situation where the Lions pick it up. That's what they do. Now, the second pick that I have was probably the hardest one in this whole mock draft. And I decided to go offensive line Marcus Mbow here out of Purdue. He could play tackle and interior. He could be a Pro Bowl interior. He's pretty good. But this would give the Lions flexibility for the next couple of years, right? We don't know what's going on with the offensive line. We have Colby Sorsdale that hasn't really done a whole lot. Giovanni Manu is a project. Zeitler left and Kayode Osika is a backup role. Then you're leaving the Lions with Graham Glasgow. And, of course, we already know who's going to we all believe that our man's going to start over there at the right guard and replace. But they want to get better on the offensive line, and you got a guy who can do both of the positions. And say a couple years down the road, Taylor Decker's gone, move Panay to the left. You could do Mbow to the right. He legitimately could do that. That's just what the situation could be. This video is sponsored by Game Time. It is the #1 app, my favorite app, and the app that I want you guys to get. It has so many great features, specialized in last-minute deals, and saves up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater. It don't matter. They have Game Time picks, making last-minute tickets buying easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best seats in the stadium. And there is so many events going on right now, whether it's concerts, baseball, Tigers, hockey, NBA. There's a lot going on right now. And the best part is Game Time. You can see the prices right there, right up front. You're not getting all this hidden fees at checkout. They also have the lowest prices guaranteed. And you find tickets in that is cheaper in a different app or service. The same exact seat, same exact everything, same row. Game Time's going to credit you 110% of the difference. Go see the Tigers. Hey, look at this. $2 right now. You could go see them. That's a pretty good deal. Go see the Red Wings, the Pistons, concerts. It's all right there. Go to Detroit and have fun this summer. So get Game Time today and take the guesswork on buying tickets with Game Time. Create an app. You got to create an account. You got to have an email. Place in code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, to get $20 off your very first purchase. Again, go to the redeem code section, plug in Chat Sports. You get $20 off your first purchase. Terms that apply. Got to create, again, all of that stuff. You got to have an email to save that money. So download Game Time today. It's last-minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. Other position you could see with the 60th pick, or again, they could be trading up or down, and maybe they'll have a different selection, right? Just second round here. You could see a situation where they go defensive tackle as well. Look, they're just looking to get BPA, and there's players on the defensive line that they may just, you know what, we're going to go that route, but it is clear as day. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have said they want to build that offensive lineup, so it's going to happen at some point in the draft. Subscribe to the channel because we are going to be live for the NFL draft, and you don't want to miss out on all of the great Lions news and rumors. Now, we're going to be going to the third round, and this is a player that the Lions truly do like. Josiah Stewart out of Michigan, 6'1", 245, edge/linebacker. The Lions have brought him on a 30 visit, met at the combine, and did a over the Zoom meet with Josiah Stewart. Clearly the Lions like him, right? This is a situation where I do believe they'll look to target him, and if he's sitting there in the third round, I think the Lions will grab him. 33 total tackles, 8.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions. We got a linebacker now is our DC, and you got a guy like Josiah Stewart that can play probably the Sam role a little bit too, and build the linebacker/defensive line, where you put it, a little bit better. They like him. The Lions may go ahead and grab him, and I think he, out of all the players that I have in this mock draft, he seems to be the closest that I would say would definitely get a like. And another one here for my next selection for the Detroit Lions. You know, we're going into now pick 132 in the fourth round. Wide receiver Pat Bryant, 6'3", 200 pounds. And he played out of Illinois. Sorry, it says MI right there. He is a good wide receiver. What did he do this past season? 54 receptions, 984 yards, 10 touchdowns, an average of 18.2. The Lions want to get that X receiver, that bigger receiver. This is literally the perfect replacement for Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick's on a one-year deal. Brad Holmes has spoke endlessly about getting younger at the wide receiver position. Just last Thursday, he went to the media and he says, we're going to get a wide receiver, so it's going to happen. And he also spoke about the wide receiver position is really deep, and you don't have to get one early. So this makes a perfect spot for the Lions to build the depth at wide receiver. You're talking about then having 4 or 5 really good receivers on this football team. For this year, he develops behind Tim Patrick. Plug and play. I think this is a match made in football heaven. With the next pick here, 198, I have the Detroit Lions getting a player that they have been interested in contact. That's Kobe King, linebacker out of Penn State, 6'1", 251. They have talked to a lot of linebackers. They have talked to a lot of players that can specialize at this position. And I could see a situation where the Lions go ahead and pick. Kobe King has done some good things here. 53 solo tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. The Lions are trying to get better depth at the linebacker, pass rush position, whatever you want to put it. There are players on defense to help them out. And he's a guy that they're interested in. He's a guy that they can look to acquire to help this football team out. They need more, the merrier. That's the way that the guys roll here in Detroit, and they're not going to pass up on talent just because they drafted a position earlier in the draft. And right now, I want you guys to go ahead and grade this mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Give me your thoughts in the comments right now. Let's go ahead and jump in to the 7th round, pick 222. The Lions are looking to get better at the safety position. Jalen Reed out of Penn State, 6 foot, 209, safety. Now, Reed, what's good about Reed is he is a player that makes plays, right? He is a guy that's going to go out there and give you some production with 3 interceptions. He's a ball player. He's a physical individual who can play up, down. He's just a developmental player, though. Let's keep it a buck. And we already got great safeties right now on this football team, but we definitely need another one. And he could be a guy that can help out, whether it be for depth and the long haul and developmental process. Go to the final pick in this mock draft here. A player that the Lions have met with, and they do seem to have a little bit of interest in him. That's the defensive tackle, Ty Hamilton, out of Ohio, 6'3", 295 tweener. And he's a guy that can get and stop the run towards the sack. He's not the biggest guy in the world, to be honest with you, right? He is like a Joshua Pascal type of player, a little bit. And they like to have individuals that can play multiple parts of this defensive line. So you get a guy that brings depth, and we don't know what's going on with Broderick Martin. We don't know Aleem McNeil how long he's going to get back. Now, I think it's potentially he'll get back halfway through the season, but they need some depth there at the defensive tackle position. I can see a situation, too, where Lions go defensive tackle earlier in the draft because we talked about it, but they address a need right now by drafting our man Hamilton out of Ohio. I want you guys to grade my final mock draft, A, B, C, D, or F, in the comments right now. Hey, I don't mind if you guys hate it, love it, whatever you want to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.